Hello, hello! Welcome back to another video. I just saw Beck at Beckel Books put this on her channel and I thought it was pretty fun. So I'm going to do the coffee and books tag. There are 8 different questions, so this shouldn't be too long, but I thought it would be fun to see if I can find any of these. And I have not pre-planned the books I want to pick for each prompt, so hopefully this goes well. The first question, I guess I should say the first prompt, is black. Name a series that's tough to get into but has hardcore fans. Oh, well, I'll be right back. I had to go downstairs to get this book. So there are a few books that come to mind, like the Farseer trilogy or the Elderling series, I guess, by Robin Hobb. But for me, that was a very easy series to get into. It is gigantic, so it's potentially intimidating for someone to try. And I can see where some people might think it starts off kind of slow and boring. But for me, it was interesting right off the bat. So that one was easy for me, so I'm not gonna pick that one. And then I have heard a lot of people struggle with Tolkien's writing. So I guess you could say his Middle Earth, so Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, the whole Silmarillion, all of that. That could be a bit of a tough one to get into, but for me it wasn't. So I actually am going to go with Dune by Frank Herbert. I ended up reading this chunker in 1 month, so it wasn't necessarily hard. It's, let's see how many pages. This is 794 pages, so basically 800 pages. This is a science fiction storyline and it's very detailed. There's a lot of like history in this world and there's a lot of, oh wow, there's a lot of everything because you can go to different planets, so it's like space travel, and the different planets have like different cultures of people or beings on the planets and different abilities, and there's a whole like political system. And yeah, so while I was able to read this big chunker in 1 month, I would say this is a hard one to get into because it is, I don't know if convoluted would be the right word, but there's just a lot in here. And it's just the beginning for the whole series. So I'm gonna go with Dune. Okay, question number 2, Peppermint Mocha. So I guess they're going through different kinds of coffee. Speaking of, I should go get my coffee. I mean, like, how could I do a coffee and books tag without a coffee? So, got my double-double here. So the question was Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or festive time of year. So I don't have to own these. That's a hard one because like any Christmassy book, you could say. Yeah, it's a hard one. I can't think of anything that gets popular because of this season. Like I know that there are a lot of Christmassy books that release around Christmas, but I think it's because it's a new book that makes it popular, and then like the next year it's not going to be as popular because it's not new anymore. So in terms of a book that just keeps popping up every Christmas, I can't think of one, but I feel like there is like an obvious one that I'm totally missing, like totally blanking on. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you can think of something. The next question is hot chocolate, which I don't like. What is your favorite children's book? Really? Just like my favorite of all time children's book? Well, I guess I gotta go downstairs again. Okay, so if we're going with children's book, I'm not considering like middle grade. I'm going more picture book. And you guys probably have already seen me talk about Rainy Day Magic. It is definitely a favorite. Like this book is the total package picture book. It's got beautiful illustrations, a really fun adventure, and the rhythm is perfection. So I definitely recommend this book. It is a favorite and will always be. So there's that one. Next up, Double Shot of Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Well, I think you could go with almost any Ted Dekker book, because they're very, if you're okay with like not knowing what's going on for the first while and then kind of getting a footing and then losing your footing because something else is just what? So, okay, how is it described? On the edge of your seat. On the edge of your seat, okay. From start to finish. Yeah, like you could go with Showdown or Skin because they're both his weird stuff. That is like, you have no idea what you've just been dropped into. You're just along for the ride until basically the end, where you can sort of figure where all of his crazy, Ted Dekker's crazy ideas came from. But I think just to spice it up, I'm gonna go with Dry. And I don't know if this really fits the prompt, because I feel like the question is looking for more of like horror, like, oh no, what's gonna happen? This happened, you know, something like that. But this one is a drought that comes across North America and basically forces, I should say, water to become like a currency. So people are selling everything just for a bottle of water so that they can survive. So they're selling their big time collectibles, they're selling their cars, their homes, their clothes, their precious jewelry, everything they can sell. But there comes a point later, like as the book goes on, where people have sold everything and they still need water, but they have no currency, I guess, left over. So things get pretty desperate, and you don't know who to trust and who's trying to manipulate who to get water, and who's just gonna outright pull out a gun and threaten you to give them water. Like, so I'm gonna go with Dry by Neil and Jared Schusterman. I believe that is a father-son duo. The next question is Starbucks. Name a book you see everywhere. Oh, well, at the moment, because of the hype, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is around a ton. As like, I would say overall, consistently, it seems like everyone has read this book. It seems like a ton of people love to reread this book annually, every year, would be Harry Potter. You can see Harry Potter at every thrift store I go to, basically. Every booktuber pretty much has read it, owns it, possibly owns multiple versions, so I would say probably Harry Potter is just everywhere. The next question is, that hipster coffee shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. You know, I don't think I've read from an indie author. I have a few ebooks that some authors have sent to me, some indie authors, but I just can't get into the ebook thing. Like, reading on my phone is it just does not work for me. I need physical copy or audiobook. Indie author, I don't think. I think I don't have anything for that. I mean, okay, 1 minute. Okay, so the one that I can think of would be A Planet of Aftermath by Matt Schellenberg. He is my husband's friend for many, many years. And this is his first book. It is a poetry book. And yeah, he's a local author. He has since written a second poetry book that we also own. So I will go with that one. But also Una by Adam Smith. Adam is half of the team at Doodle Date. I'll leave their channel link down below. But this is his graphic novel that he wrote. So he's not really an author per se. he's more of an artist that just created a graphic novel and sold it. So yeah, those will count for that prompt. The next one is, oops, I accidentally got decaf. Name a book where you were expecting a lot from and it didn't meet your expectations. Oh, there's been many. There has been many. I mean, Illuminae was definitely a big letdown. What was that Felix Palma one that I really wanted to read and I was really excited for? Something about time. There's been a ton. Like pretty much every book, most of the books I DNF, I have gone into with high hopes. So it happens all the time. The perfect blend is question number 8, so the last one. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go with War of the Cards. I'm gonna go with this one because it is such a fun ride. But as the title suggests, War of the Cards, it starts off very brutal and there is a lot of like bad stuff that happens, and because it's like war, and there's a lot of betrayal and deception and broken hearts, and but the way it wraps up is like super satisfying, and I just love a specific element about the ending that I can't. Oh, War of the Cards, sorry, that's the third one. The first one, my sister has it right now. It is Queen of Hearts. That's the first one. But anyway, the whole book is basically a journey of war in different aspects. Yeah, anyway, the ending is super, there's something specific in the ending that I really, really, really appreciated. And if you guys have finished this trilogy, you should let me know so that we can chat about it in the comments below or private messages. So yeah, I will go with the Queen of Hearts trilogy for that one. That is it for the questions. Yeah, there's no bonus or anything, so let me know if you, first let me know if you like coffee, and like what is your perfect blend or your perfect order, or like your staple, this is the thing that you order most of the time. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you think of them, and if you have any further suggestions for me. I love to hear your guys' suggestions, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!